Hi, I'm Rachel from Little Vintage Photography and Sunny 16 podcast. ILFORD asked me to come and speak to you about how to make a selenium toned print. This is a way of adding a bit of colour and depth to one of your existing prints. This one here I've exposed onto warm tone paper. The paper that I've used is the ILFORD multi-grade resin coated warm tone paper to give us this starting point. When I've added the selenium tone into it, this is the kind of image that you'd finish up with. So you can see that there's a difference in colour and in tone as well. You can also use it on other papers and it will give you a bit more of a subtle effect. So let's have a look at the equipment that we're going to use to do a selenium toned print. I'm going to begin by putting on my gloves and safety goggles because you don't want the selenium toner going in your eye when we're mixing. I'm going to open that up. So this is the ILFORD HARMAN Toner. It's a 1 litre bottle and it would make up to 4 litres, 1 plus 3. We're going to measure in 150ml into there. Just going to pop that lid on, always make sure that you put your lid straight back on. That's our 150ml. I'm just going to pour into the large jug. And then grab my 450ml of water, which I'm going to just add into here as well. And then take my stirrer and I'm going to give it a good stir. I'm just going to take the jug and now pour it into the middle bath. Now I've got it poured into the centre tray. We're going to look at this one over here. This is our first holding tray. And what we've got are 2 prints in here. We've got a reference print and the print that we're actually going to tone. That gives us a chance to compare the two as it's actually toning and changing colour. This tray here we have set at 24 degrees centigrade. That's a little bit warmer than the other 2 trays in order to make sure that the prints get warmed up ready and will take in the tone in a nice even way. So we've got our first tray over here with these 2 prints, our selenium toner itself in the centre tray, and then a second holding tray over here, which has just got the water in at 20 degrees. That's for us to start to wash it at the end. What I'm going to do is set a timer on my phone. I tend to use one like this. I'm going to take one of my prints, the one that I'm going to tone, and I'm going to pop that into the centre tray. And then we just agitate and make sure it's fully covered, and that I'm moving that backwards and forwards. And that's going to be between 2 and 4 minutes. So I'm going to keep an eye on my timer whilst looking back at my reference print in that first holding tray so I can see the difference and decide how much tone and colour I'd like to add to it. And you might be able to see that we're already starting to warm up. This is starting to give it that much deeper, richer kind of colour. You don't have to constantly be checking, but it's nice to kind of go, oh, okay, I can see the differences as we're letting it go. So I don't want to go too far with this, I just want to give it a little extra depth and a little extra colour. Coming up to 2 minutes. I'm going to lift that out now, there we go, and put it into our second holding tray. So it's going for 30 seconds, and I'm just going to agitate that as well. That's going to stop the development process of the selenium toner. And I can have a quick look and see whether I'm happy with how it is. If I wanted to give it a little bit more tone, I could just simply pop it back into the selenium. Yep, lovely, okay, so that has stopped toning. I'm going to bring it back over now from this tray into the first tray next to my reference print and check the 2 together. If I wanted to add extra tone at that point, I could have put it back into the toner. I'm going to stick with it as it is. That needs to be in the wash for 2 minutes, so just in normal temperature running water. With a resin coated paper, you need 2 minutes of running water in order to properly wash it. If you're using a fibre-based paper, you'll actually need to wash it for 30 minutes. We've got our final print. So this is our reference print, as you can see, and our final selenium toned print here with the lovely rich tones on that warm tone paper. If you want to learn more about analogue techniques, you can check out ILFORD's other videos. Thanks very much for watching.